I love, and this is Obladi Oblada, which was found out to be the ideal song, according to research, that it has the perfect balance between predictability and unpredictability. You be the judge. Desmond has his barrel in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in a band. Desmond says, girl, I like your face, and Molly says this as she takes his hand. Oh, bladi, oh, blada, life goes on, brah. Ooh, life goes on. Oh, bladi, oh, blada, life goes on, brah. Oh, life goes on. Desmond takes a trolley to the jewelry store, buys the 20-carat golden ring, takes it back to Molly waiting at the door, and as he gives her, she begins to sing. Oh, bladi, oh, blada, life goes on, brah. Oh, life goes on. Oh, bladi, oh, blada, life goes on, brah. Oh, life goes on. In a couple of years they have built a home, sweet home. A couple of kids, they're running in the yard of Desmond and Molly Jones. Happy ever after in the marketplace. Desmond lets the children lend a hand. Molly stays at home and does her pretty face, and in the evening she goes singing with the band. Oh, bladi, oh, blada, life goes on, brah. Oh, life goes on. Oh, bladi, oh, blada, life goes on, brah. La, 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 la. Sing, oh, bladi, blada. So, sorry if I did a bad job at singing this amazing song. I don't have a band, and I'm not a singer in a band, but I would like to talk about the content. So, this song, why did this song get the honor of being called the best song of all times according to researchers? So we said there's a balance of predictability and unpredictability. But let's look at the text. Desmond is this guy in the marketplace, and he just sees this woman and he says, I like your face. I think it's really the essence of attraction. Are we attracted to, what are we attracted in a person? Face, having a face, right? And here I would like to digress a bit to Paul McCartney, who is a big supporter of vegetarian lifestyle, vegan also, thanks to his late wife, who was a big influence on him. And they played together in the band that they formed afterwards, after the Beatles broke up, Wings. And he said, don't eat anything with a face. And that means that a face is something important. We can't eat something that has a face because it reminds us of ourselves. A face is, when we look at somebody's face, what we see is a sort of reflection of ourselves, isn't it? When you look at someone's face, you might like it and you might not like it. There are certain things that remind you of somebody else, perhaps a family member that you love, or previous relationship, or nature. Eyes as blue as the sky, or eyes as brown as tree, or gray, or green as the trees, beautiful green eyes, or black eyes, beautiful black eyes. It's very rare, yeah. Just like the night, mysterious night. So there's all sorts of associations with eyes, the nose, the shape of the face. They say the ideal face has a certain harmony, a certain proportion. They say it's actually the face of a child, perhaps, large eyes. I once heard a lecture, and they said that it's large eyes and a small little mouth. It's the face of a child or a baby. Maybe that's regarding women. Regarding men, I don't know if there was research done. Maybe it's because most researchers are men. I have no idea. But what attracts us to a face? The eyes are the window of the soul, they say. Definitely the eyes, the expression that is reflected. I'm just watching, there's amazing jumping up there. There's a bird trying to catch it's a bird trying to catch a fish. It's jumping, it's diving, and then it's coming up again for air, if we watch it. So, digression again. So, a face is really important. It's an expression. Not just the eyes, it's the mouth. Our mouth also expresses anger or smiling. Is the person smiling? So a face is actually what we're looking for in a person, if you think about it. We have the expression face value. All kinds of associations come up. So this is the first stanza. So he has a job, first of all. He's able to provide for a family. All he needs is a woman to set up a family. So something rarely spoken about nowadays. Yes, a man and a woman, without being conservative or whatever. This is how biology is made. Male and female find each other. He looks at her face and she has to agree. Is this a face that I will want to wake up to and spend the rest of my life with? As it used to be, well, in the 60s anyway, up until the 60s, before sexual revolution, you would find a partner and it would be for your whole life and you would have a family. That's how our parents of my generation led their life. There was not so much divorce. People were mating for life. So now research says it's maybe against nature. So anyway, so he goes to the jewelry shop and gets a ring. A ring is very important. It's a sign of eternity. A ring doesn't have an ending. It's like this, right? There's no ending, there's no beginning. It's eternity. So he gets her diamond ring, 20-carat ring. Songs you can exaggerate, and she begins to sing. So the whole life revolves around music, doesn't it? Because she's a singer, and when you think about what a singer is, think about the birds. I'm now listening to birds singing. Birds actually convey messages through their singing, and they are mating. The messages are very practical, mating, and they also talk to each other. Maybe say, "Hey, are you coming home to feed the babies?" Because they take care of their young ones, and they're building nests. And here in this blessed sunny place, there's always birds singing. The birds are coming from Europe. Already went, actually. The migration season, I believe, is over by now, but the birds were coming over from Europe. The migrating birds, that is. They come over from Europe. They pass here. This is the big migration center for birds. They come here from Europe, and they're on their way to Africa, and some of them stop here. And we have some places for them up north where they can stay and they can build a home for the winter, so they don't have to suffer the snow and horrible weather in Europe. I wonder how global warming is going to affect that, by the way. Another topic that's not the topic, but important to address. What's going to happen in our world when it's going to be warm in Europe the whole year? Is it going to be like, what's going to happen then? It's going to mean that birds are not going to be migrating. We won't see them in the sky during the fall going to Africa. Interesting thoughts. So this song is actually really a cycle of life. So as two people meet, and he gives her a ring. It's part of the ceremony of giving a ring. And these days people tend to be less traditional. It's still, for me, my experience has been when the male is interested, it works, because there's a certain kind of convention in courting, that the male is going after the female, and he gives her an offering. That is in the animal world and definitely in the traditional human world. Though now traditions have changed a lot. I don't even know what the gender of the person is. And I'm not saying it as a criticism, I'm just saying it as an observation. That nowadays things are not as clear as they used to be. And yet some things don't change. So there's this courting behavior. And he gives her a ring, and then they have a couple of kids. And they have this family, Desmond and Molly Jones. And then the kids lend a hand. So this is part of apprenticeship. The family traditions continue with the kids. And meanwhile, this is the recipe of a happy life. She stays at home, looking after her pretty face. And then in the evening, she sings in the band, which is what I thought marriage was going to be about. If I stay at home, I can tend to myself and the children. And at one point, I can sing in a band or do my own thing. And I think that's the recipe of a happy life, when both partners are, as Meghan Markle had said, thrive. It's important to thrive, not just to survive. And we see that with birds. They support each other. There's a nest, and the males and females work together. This is in the animal world, and this is in the ideal human world. Families, it's like a wagon, and it's pulled by two horses. If you ever saw a horse pulling a wagon, a heavy load by himself, you would see that it collapses. It doesn't last long. A very unhappy horse. Two horses, it's different. They support each other, and the load is divided. So that's my comment on love and marriage. Work goes together like a horse and carriage. No, that it is indeed ideal when two people can carry the load. However, when one horse is pushing the other one or disturbing this wagon, doesn't allow the wagon to continue, it is better to adjust to the idea that it's not going to be like in the songs, it's not going to be like in the movies, it's not going to be like happily ever after. And that's a difficult adjustment, because we have in our mind these movies, these songs. So much imagery has been implanted in our minds for our parents' generations. I think even children of divorced families tend to reflect upon the happy times. Some of them have not seen any happy times. Those, I think, have easier time. But children that had happier times, on the one hand, they have something to look forward to, something that was good. They observed their family, their parents together for a while, but then they also observed how it falls apart. So, and those whose parents were never together, they've never had this opportunity to observe a couple. Perhaps they have never had this opportunity, or perhaps the mother or father has a new partner, and they managed to pick up how that works. Hopefully. Sometimes we don't have a role model. Sometimes we have parents that stay together and present a very negative model of a relationship. Not two horses pulling a wagon, but two horses going wild in different directions. And lack of communication, lack of working together, and it's difficult, and that's what we have to acknowledge. Sometimes it's very, very difficult to build relationships because we don't have a model at home. We never had a model, and we watch movies, we read books, and we have this model in our head, but it's very difficult to apply it because we haven't seen it being applied practically. I don't think you necessarily have to have a male and female, but I do think it is complicated because nature is created from the unity of a male and female, and there are different role divisions. And while females can take on masculine role models and male can take on female role models, it's definitely can happen. It demands adjustment. Peace, light, and love. Somebody's talking next to me, and I don't know how much you can hear. Thank you for listening to me. Please subscribe to the channel. And it would be really great to hear some comments about relationships and whether your experience or your observation in life, how does it work? How does it work? How can we make things work? Or how can we learn to accept that things don't work, and how we can continue our life and sing "Oh bladi, oh blada, life goes on, brah." Because that's a very important message. Life does go on. Peace and love.